Hey everybody, Baldoric here. Today we're going to be talking about one of the 3 to 4 star hero pool units, which is Echidna. Now the reason I want to go over this unit is she's fairly easily obtainable. She can work as a tank, and I kind of want to showcase that, and I think she has a lot of usability. Just depends on how you build her, and I think she's really overlooked. So it's a fun unit, it's an interesting unit. She's got a really good bulky spread, and I wanted to kind of talk about what's a good way to build her and how you could use her in Aether Raids, Arena, and a budget build. So let's jump right in. So this is my idea for an Aether Raid tank for her. Now you're going to notice right off the bat that this is not a Vantage build. The reason I don't have her be a Vantage unit for this kind of a build here, she's pretty bulky on her own, and if you consider some of the buffs she should be getting from units on her team, so like let's say you pair her with male Corrin, right? And you're getting all the buffs from that. She's honestly going to be able to survive most things that are coming at her and be able to swing back with a whole lot of damage. Now, if we take a look at the lull attack and speed that she has here, she's going to be able to double most things she's going to be attacking. Her attack stat is going to be, it's 58 right now, which is fantastic. Depending on what you have for buffs, it's going to be in the 60s, most likely. Noontime is going to be recovering her HP at a pretty steady rate. Depending on who you have on the team, too, she may even be able to get that a little bit quicker if you have like an infantry pulse thing going, but not many things are going to be able to pulse her because she's got 70 HP. And with talking about her HP, that means she's going to skip Panic Manor. It's above that 65 point, which is really great. Pulse Smoke is going to make it so that specials will not happen on her, and it's going to negate it for other units as well, making it so that on your turn, she's going to be able to go in, pick off those important targets, and if you have like a dancer or a supporter that's going to get her that way, she could take out the two, most likely the two biggest targets that are going to hurt her, and then she can just tank the rest. So I think she's got a lot of usability. Quick Riposte is to help out on enemy phase, that obviously she can hit twice on enemy phase. And I think that with this kind of a tanky build, she can survive most things happening. I should mention this is light season, so that means I've included Peony and Ear as allies, because everyone should have them, because you just have to do the story, which makes her stats a lot more viable for tanking. It pushes that res stat to a 39, and it pushes her speed stat up to 50, which is honestly really, really good. Gives her an all-around fantastic spread. You don't have to do the attack IV. You could easily choose anything minus HP here, right? So you could put it into speed if you want her to double more. You could put it into defense, because that'll push her to 40 defense. Res will push her into 42 defense. Honestly, you could throw it anywhere except for HP here, and it's going to be just as viable. I chose the 58 attack because I want those guaranteed kills. It does matter a lot. She definitely has points where if you do something like a PvP calculator, she definitely has points where that 58 HP is going to make a big difference in like guaranteeing kills. So I think it's better there, but you might want to go for the doubling more often and go for the speed or whatever it may be, or just more tankability, because maybe whoever her partner is can super up an attack that it's not going to matter. So keep that in mind when building her. Builder according to your team. You can switch out anything here, obviously, if someone else is fitting this role, but I think this is a really good way to build her as a tank in Aether Raids. Now, this is an anti-mage build. You could still use this in Aether Raids. I don't think it's as good in Aether Raids, but let's talk about exactly what we're doing here. So, first of all, we don't have any blessings or anything like that, because you can choose whatever one you want to do for whatever season, if it's arena or not. We have the slaying axe with the slaying axe with the resistance refine, which pushes her resistance to a really respectable 36, which is awesome. Defense 35, which is making her stats already bulky with 55 HP. It's honestly really strong. 56 attack and the 41 speed. So all around, pretty solid stats. The 41 speed, you're probably not going to double too often. That's why I'm building more into like a Glimmer, because you want to make sure that when your special does go off, it hits real hard. Distant counter, obviously you want to be able to, if you're anti-mage, you need to be able to hit the mages when they attack you. Quick Riposte to make sure that you're doubling if they're hitting you, because your speed stat isn't fantastic, so you want to make sure that you can get that double with the Quick Riposte. Attack Res Oath, so as long as you are next to a unit, you're getting that +5 of attack and res, which pushes res to 41, and attack is going to go to 61. Mirror Stance, you're going to get that additional stats. I forget if it's, what is it, 4? Yeah, 4 to each stat. So if you add that up, you're getting +9 to attack and res, which pushes her res to 45, and it pushes her attack to 65. Which is going to honestly sit real strong on any mage that's coming in on her. Now, the big things that's going to hurt her here are specials. So you're going to want to make sure that either you have, like, something like a Witchy Wand that's going to be able to prevent that from happening. On your team is maybe a support partner for her, something like that. Because specials are going to be the biggest thing that's going to hurt a unit like this. But other than that, she's going to be a pretty strong anti-mage. She's going to be good on both player and enemy phase. Definitely a little bit better on enemy phase because of the Mirror Stance and Quick Riposte. But I think she's going to be able to do well in arenas. So especially if she is the bonus unit, she's going to do like really, really well. But even still, if you just want her as like your green tank or something like that, this unit works really well. Does a good job as an anti-mage. So lastly, we have the budget build. Now, the budget build I've geared towards player phase, specifically because it's kind of hard to do a budget build. I keep forgetting to do the negative IVs, but I would have thrown the negative IV here, most likely into res for this particular case. So it would have been, what is that, 27 res, because it'd be -3. So let's talk a little bit about this budget build though, okay? So first of all, we're keeping the Glimmer because again, we have the Slaying Axe. We want that one attack Glimmer. We have the Fury 3 because most budget builds use Fury 3 because it's giving those extra stats. It's very useful to have this. We have the Desperation. Desperation's going to proc real easy with her because of the Fury 3, so she's going to be able to double more often. Now, I did do the Speed Refine on Slaying Axe. You probably don't need this. I did it only because if she's going in, I want to make sure she's always doubling because she's kind of useless if she doesn't. But Desperation will definitely help with that. You could easily switch out Desperation here because we're running the Swift Sparrow and the Slaying Axe. But I still think it's a really good thing to have. Attack Smoke, just to make it a little bit easier for her to survive after she goes in and attacks, because you're going to be inflicting that -7 attack on on the enemies that's going to last through their turn. Now, enemy phase is where she struggles. So with a build like this one, she is going to hit really hard and definitely double on your turn most likely. So if we add it up with the Swift Sparrow, she's going to be getting +4 to attack and speed, so that's 58 attack, 46 speed. With Desperation, she should be able to get those 2 attacks off before the enemy does, which is really fantastic. But the issue with this build is enemy phase, like I was saying, and the only way she can survive is with the Attack Smoke. So let's consider that the negative IV is there, because I forgot to put it there, so 27 res. Now, mages are going to give her a really hard time, because 27 res is not fantastic. 33 defense isn't horrible, but it's not fantastic. She'll definitely be able to tank physical hits, but unless you have something that's going to buff her res or get her out of combat when when enemy phase happens, she is going to be pretty vulnerable when it comes to that. But you kind of have some safety thanks to the Attack Smoke, and depending on who your allies are, again, you could use that Red Mail Corrin. You could even use something like Mordecai for for the stat debuffing, and she'll end up being able to tank a few hits. It should work pretty good. It's tough to build budget builds for enemy phase with a unit like this where she's kind of struggling early on. She really benefits from merges. So I think this is viable though. You could switch a few things out here, like maybe instead of the Swift Sparrow, you do something like a Brazen Attack Speed or a Brazen Attack Res, something like that. Putting one merge into her too would also be a fantastic way to make sure that she is a lot more viable, because that'll get rid of any of those negative stats and keep that bulk that she does have. But if you can't merge her and you just want to use her right off the bat, this is kind of the way I would suggest. You can finagle a few things here, but it's just an idea of how to build her with a budget. So With that, I think that concludes the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like this, consider subscribing. I'm going to be putting out more content like this in the future. Hopefully also going to be putting out a few more things with the Pokemon TCG, maybe even the video games. We'll see. But I am going to be putting out more videos like this. Probably going to be streaming relatively soon now that I can't leave my house anyways because of coronavirus. Might as well do something like that. But I will be putting out more videos more frequently because I'm going to be home a lot more. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you next time.